What's going on, everybody? You're tuned in to the Fantasy Couch podcast. This is one of the best fantasy football podcasts. Mike, do you know we're a top 1% podcast?
I believe that. I didn't
It's
know that, but I believe that.
it's by default because most podcasts quit. 90% of podcasts quit after the first 3 episodes, and out of those, another 90% quit after episode or by episode 20. So we're pushing episode 200. So I mean, we're probably ahead of the top 1%, baby.
Wow, that's amazing. Great stat. Love that.
Just by default, just by being alive and not giving up.
I think that's the key to our success, to be honest.
Yeah, so this is going to be a great episode. It's going to be a different episode. No hack my dynasty. Um, it's awesome. We got the NBA draft going on, but we're going to be talking about football. So first of all, I wanted to give some announcements. This is super important stuff, super different type of leagues here. So right now we are in the middle of the Fantasy Football Throne League. If you don't know what that is, hold on, my soda's bubbling up here. Let me take a sip. If you don't know what the Throne League is, I mean, you've been living under a rock, but I'm going to tell you what it is. It's amazing, and there's still time to get in. And there's going to be more stuff going on later, but there's still time to get in on the Fantasy Football Throne League. The Throne League is a league where my followers get to draft the players for me. That's the gist of it. What we have is a war room. We simulate an actual NFL war room where we pick who to draft as a team. We have scouts, we have a draft board. So it's a lot of fun. And if you want to be part of it, just let me know and I'll get you in the Discord. It's a private Discord. I'll get you in there, get you set up on the war room. We have debates, we have voice calls on every single pick. We think big picture. We talk about what other teams are doing. It's a lot of fun. We won it a couple of years ago, and you know, a few minds is smarter than just one, right? And so when we get to plotting, when we get to thinking, and I really do believe we have the best fantasy football community and we're really smart. So I love the input you guys give me, and hopefully you guys appreciate my input. And we crush it every year. We won one year, but every single draft we did was a lot of fun, very intense, and we drafted really good teams. So far, we have Joe Mixon, 10th overall, and at the 2.03, we got Stephon Diggs. So loving our start so far. I don't see how anybody can't love that start.
I think it's a great start. It's my first year actually being involved with the Throne League. I just always heard, a lot of good things about it, but I never had the time to like really dig into it. So I decided this year that I would be involved, and I wanted to interact with the community more. So it's been really exciting so far. I think I was able to sway a lot of people with the Diggs pick in the second round, so I was happy about that. But I think it's going to get a lot harder moving forward. There's going to be a lot harder debates. So right now is the perfect time to join. If you haven't been involved yet, but you're interested, now is the time to get in and have your voice be heard.
The first two picks were landslides, so you guys didn't miss too much. Like 90% of people voted for Mixon and 90% for Diggs. All right, so that's the Throne League. I talk about it a lot. I talk about it too much. We're going to have another league right when Throne ends. We're doing something similar for Dynasty. All right. So I'm going to join a money league, a Dynasty Football Money League. It's going to be on FFPC. So it's going to be a $250 buy-in league. And you guys are going to draft the team for me. It's like a social experiment. This one, I won't be as in chats or anything, but we will vote on every single pick the best we can. Hopefully we'll make it work. It's the first time we're doing something like this, but you guys are going to pick the team for me. And so that's going to be on Discord too. So we're basically doing the same thing, but with the Dynasty League, it's going to be a startup draft, brand new. We don't know who the other 11 people are going to be because it's a $250 buy-in league. That's when it's hard to find people to join. So it's going to be on a public official website. So shout out to FFPC for helping us out with that. My boys over there, they're freaking awesome helping us set that up. Technically you can join the league. I'd probably rather you not, but I mean, I'm not going to stop you. If you find the number of the league I'm in and you join, I'm not stopping you. I'd rather have you on my side picking for me, because then that would be more like, oh, are these guys colluding? I have a popular name in the fantasy industry. I don't want to ruin it for their end. I don't want to ruin it for our end. So I suggest you just draft with me. And if we win, I'm going to be giving away really dope prizes. Like all the like I don't want to put a set number on it, but let's just say like if we win first place, that's going to be over $1,000. I'm pretty sure I'll be giving away a good portion of that in the Discord if we win. Right. So I suggest you guys participate in that. And then we'll be doing something small with best ball tournament as well. I'll go live on YouTube on the main channel, and then we will have you guys draft a team for me. So we're just going to keep this going, keep this theme going where you guys draft teams for me, and each one's going to be different, right? We got best ball, we got dynasty, we got redraft, and everyone's going to be different nuance the way we vote and how we do it. So enough talk about that. Is there anything we need to know about the NBA draft, Mike, or NBA
The Warriors are
correspondent?
about to pick right now, the 20th pick. Shout out to the Warriors for winning the NBA championship 4 out of 8 the last 8 years. I wasn't able to go to the parade this year, but it's just a great time to be a Warriors fan in the Bay Area right now, and forward to see who the Warriors draft. I'll let you guys know shortly once they make their pick.
All right, keep us posted. So Arch Manning is going to Texas. Any thoughts on this, Mike?
Yeah, Arch Manning is the next in line of the Manning family dynasty. He is supposedly more talented than all the Mannings before him, so that's a huge get for the University of Texas. He's probably the biggest recruit in the past 10 or 20 years. He's kind of like LeBron of football, I guess. That's how big he is. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting, it's great, and Texas just got the best quarterback in a long time.
And this one shouldn't be a shock to anybody, all right? Alvin Kamara is expecting to get hit with a 6-game suspension. So, guys, just be aware of that. David Johnson did not sign with the Saints. So, next in line is going to likely be Mark Ingram. And that's why on this show we were pushing Abram Smith as a deep sleeper. I believe undrafted rookie running back on the Saints. They don't have a lot of depth back there, and Mark Ingram's super old and past his prime. So that's why if you're doing a draft or he's could be on waivers on your dynasty league, go get Abram Smith. I think that's a no-brainer. Kamara gets injured from time to time. He's probably getting suspended. Mark Ingram's old, and there's really not a lot of running backs on that team. Okay, Mike. All right. So there's been a lot of stuff that's been really grinding my gears in the fantasy community. And I'm just going to just attack it. And I'm going to do it my way. So this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to introduce this. All right. Mike. There's a lot of analysis. People, like, we've been doing fantasy football for a long time. Not just me and you. I mean, like, just fantasy football, like, it's been around for a while. It just keeps getting more and more intriguing, more and more analysis, more and more charts and stats and more league settings, and just sometimes you got to say this is stupid and take a step back and use your freaking brain, use some basic knowledge, and I'll just call it common sense. All right. For you audio listeners, I got like a stupid, simple, like 2-column table up right now. Player A gets 20 points per game. All right, it's going to come out to 240 total points. Let's say he plays all 17 games. Player B gets 19.9 points per game, and that's going to come out to 338 total points for the season. Which player would you pick? Consistency doesn't matter either in this. So,
I mean, I guess you would say player B in this case because he has more total points.
No, he does not have more total points.
Player B has 338 total points.
238.
Okay.
Sorry. Whoops.
Like, what?
238. Thank God you saw that. I didn't. Player B is 230. That was a typo. 238 total points. Yeah. So basically, player A is scoring just a little bit more than player B.
Okay, so I guess player A
Yeah,
in
this
this
is a no.
case.
This is a no-brainer, right? Would everyone would
Okay.
pick player A, right? Like, would anyone pick player B out there?
No.
I know. I mean, no. And like I said, consistency, it doesn't matter in this case because we're not even using that factor. We can, for the sake of this, we can say they're the exact same consistency from game to game. All right. Next example, we have player A plus player B, and then oops, did this
This reminds me of like the eye test they make me take, like at the optometrist. Like, is it better A or better B?
taking this? I did the math wrong. That's why it's 340 and three. Whatever, you get the point. Player A scores more. All right. So I don't know why I wrote that. That was a typo. Okay, so player A plus player B gets you 40 points a game. There's a total of 680 total points. Okay. So let's just say points per game because the total doesn't matter. Player A plus B, so two players on your squad get you 40 points per game. Player C plus D gets you 39.8 points per game. Which combo are you taking?
Obviously, A plus B.
That's right. And so that's why I wanted to address the stacks that we talked about on the last podcast. Stacks don't matter in redraft at all. Okay, they really don't. And what does everyone say? Oh, you're gonna double dip or you're gonna get double the points. Like no one actually believes that. That doesn't even make any sense. Stacks don't matter. So some when you have a stack, what that means some weeks with this stupid chart. Okay, I don't care about charts and stuff, but just to show you. What that means is that some weeks you're going to score more. You're going to have more boom weeks. And that's all people talk about, these double dip, double the points. Oh, when the guys when the receiver scores a touchdown, the quarterback gets the points too. By the way, if you guys don't know what a stack is, you get a quarterback and one of his favorite receivers on the same team. Could be could be a tight end, could be a wide receiver. It's usually wide receiver 1 or 2. All right. But no one talks about the bust potential. So that's going to mean, okay, so 2-3 weeks, you're going to score a lot more points. But 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to score a lot less points. So if you have, let's say, a stack like Lamar and Mark Andrews, when that Ravens offense isn't working well, at least the passing game, your team's going to really suck. And it even has a higher chance of sucking than it has of booming and scoring more points. So in redraft leagues, stacks don't matter. I don't know how better way to explain it. Sorry for my stupid math. That was stupid. It should just be forget about the total points. Like that doesn't matter. Player A gets you 20 points per game. Player B gets you 19.9 points per game. 100% of the time, take player A. I don't care what jersey he has on. Why would that matter? So where did stacking come from? Why is this socially acceptable? Right? You see stuff sometimes in the world, you're like, oh, why does everyone accept this? Why does everyone think this is the norm? Like this doesn't make any sense in our culture, in our world. Like this, why is this socially accepted? Why is stacking a thing that we just be like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, stacking. Yeah, we stack. Like that's a good thing. No, that's so cool. Um, One, probably because people don't get it and they just get excited when their receiver scores a touchdown and they have the same quarterback on the same team. So people get excited. So one is emotional. So I get that, like, oh man, my stack just scored a touchdown. Like, bro, I just scored 14 and a half fantasy points. Like hey, that's exciting. But why it's actually really socially acceptable, the real thing, is because this is a real strategy people like me use. Sometimes people ask me, why should I listen to you? Like, I mean, my credentials don't really matter. Like, what matters is what's really going on. Like, if I can break it down, prove it to you, and it makes sense, that's what really matters. Like, yeah, I'm a best-selling author. Yeah, I taught 700,000 people how to play fantasy football with my videos. I work with John Madden. I work with a bunch of celebrities. Like I have this many followers. I've been doing this for this long. Like that stuff doesn't really matter. Like if you really want the credentials to help me prove this, because sometimes people ask me that, like, okay, there it is. But that doesn't matter. This is what matters here. Player A is scoring 20 points. Player B is scoring 19.9 points. This is a real strategy when I play DFS. Yeah, I won the $250,000 first place prize on DraftKings. I've won the $50,000 first place prize on DraftKings, so on and so forth. I won $1,000 tournament several times on Drafters. Like, that's called DFS. We use stacking in DFS. That works for that. DFS is just for 1 week when I'm trying to beat 10,000 other opponents. When you're trying to beat 10,000 other opponents, you want to maximize your ceiling as much as you can. And so that's where stacking comes from. And that's the actual strategy that where stacking is used. That's when you use stacking. When I'm trying to beat 10,000 people or 50,000 people or even 200,000 people in a big tournament, they call it GPPs. That's where I'm stacking and I'm increasing my risk as much as possible. I'm increasing my ceiling as much as possible. In redraft, you're playing for 17 weeks, man, or whatever, however long you're going to go, 14 weeks, 15 weeks. You need to be consistent. You don't need to outscore everyone in your league every single week. You don't need to do that. You don't need to beat 10,000. You just need to beat one person. So if I have the option, I'm on the clock and I have the option between player A and player B. Just because player A is on the same squad as my quarterback, I'm not. So player B is on the same squad as my quarterback. Doesn't mean I'm going to draft it. I'm just going to draft the better player every time. Now, where would stacking actually work in redraft? It's like, man, have you ever had one of those weeks, Mike, where like everyone's hurt? Like you have a desperation week, like you're on waivers, like you're trying to find like a quarterback, like Taylor Heineke or something. Has that ever happened to you? And it's a must win to make playoffs.
Yeah, I think I had that the year I won with Kaepernick. I had to like get him off the waivers
You
or
had
something.
Kaepernick and Bortles, I think, that year.
Yeah, and I
Bortles, I
won
doubt you drafted.
somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so let's use Bortles as an example, okay? So you're in a must-win situation to make playoffs, and you have the option between Kaepernick and Bortles. So both those quarterbacks were really good that year. This is a long time ago. It's like 7 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. Okay. Now, in that, and you're going up against the number one team, like you're projected to lose a lot of points. In that case, I might go get Blake Bortles because I have Allen Robinson, right? That he was on the Jags at the same time because I need to increase my upside. That's in that case. But when that's a more of a waiver thing. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully this all made sense. I just wanted to clarify stacking even more. It's a sexy thing. It's socially accepted because of DFS, because of tournaments. Sometimes it's okay to draft a stack in Dynasty if you really believe in that quarterback and that team and that franchise, because I want the guy who's matched up with my guy for the next 5 years. That's what we thought Tyreek Hill was going to be to Patrick Mahomes. I was shocked when Tyreek Hill left the Chiefs. So, I get it. In Dynasty, maybe a little bit. In best ball tournaments, that's great. In DFS, that's great. But in redraft, stacking doesn't mean anything, man. So did that make
Wow.
sense, you think, to the people?
I think
Did I
so.
better
I'm
explain
glad
it?
you landed the plane at the end. That was good. I wasn't sure where it was going, but we landed it and stacking. It's great.
Yeah,
Great
because
point.
people will get defensive, if I just start talking about it at first. But yeah, again, when you stack players, you're gonna get some boom weeks, but you're gonna also get even more dud weeks. It's very risky. Your
I
floor is
stacked
lower.
last year in Couch League. I stacked Devonte Adams with Aaron Rodgers, and I didn't even make playoffs. So that was pretty confusing for me.
That was a
Um,
that's a fine stack. And I don't go away from stacks either. As long as you didn't reach for Rodgers.
no,
That's my
I never reach for quarterbacks. I always
yeah,
like
that's
take who fell to me.
or vice versa. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not afraid of a stack either. Like if I believe Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback on the board, I need a quarterback, and I have Devonte Adams. Last year, of course, he was a Packer. I'll take Rodgers. Don't shy away from it. Just don't go after it. That's all I'm saying.
I just want to say, for the record, the Warriors drafted Patrick Baldwin Jr. out of Milwaukee with the 28th pick. Great pick, in my opinion. Rather be out fishing. He asked if what I thought. He was a super sleeper. He's supposed to be, he was the fifth best player in high school a couple years back. Great pedigree. He wanted to play for his dad at a small school in Milwaukee, but he has the pedigree. He's going to be a really great player. 6'10 shooter. We could always use more shooting on the Warriors. I think he's like similar to like Otto Porter, but better potentially. So great pick for the Warriors. Another championship in 2023, baby. Let's go.
And who knows after that? Because a lot of young players on there. All right, back to the rant, Mike.
I thought that was it. Was
No,
that
it's
there's
another. Yeah,
more?
one
Okay,
more.
there's another one. Okay.
One more. So it's along the same lines because we're just diving into these analytics and people just keep getting more and more advanced. But it's like, what is this? Like, where is this for everything? That's the thing. Like nowadays, bro, when people tweet something on Twitter, they don't say this is Dynasty. They don't say, oh, this is DFS. They don't say this is, best. Like everything is different. Like I'm a tournament player. It's so different when I'm going against 10,000 different opponents versus a normal league that you guys are in. One opponent, you have to beat one dude in 1 week. When I play a tournament, sometimes I have to beat 49,999 other opponents. Like it's totally different fantasy football. And that only lasts for one day. Totally different. So this is my boy here, and it's not to roast him. He's dope. A lot of people in Couch Fam love him. He's great Instagram content poster, upper hand fantasy. Pretty much everyone likes this guy. So it's not to rag on him. So but this is where the problem I have with this. So it says right here, don't draft your own fantasy handcuffs. Do this instead. Draft other people's handcuffs to increase your upside. If your RB1 stays healthy and your handcuff gets called up, your team just took a big step forward. So this to me, I have a problem with this because it's true sometimes and sometimes it's not. What type of format are we talking about? And I mean, like what it's just not enough details here. And this scenario you're talking about is great, but I mean, and you got a picture of Alexander Madison here, who's a great draft pick. But I mean, are you saying if I draft Dalvin Cook, I'm not going to draft Alexander Madison? This is just, I just don't want people to think in absolutes. I think every case is different. Okay, so let's talk about normal, like a 12-team league. If I'm drafting Dalvin Cook, I'm drafting Alexander Madison. I'll tell you this right now. Will I reach for Alexander Madison? Nah, not really, not much. But if Alexander Madison's where I like him, which is round 10, right? Round 11 typically, but if I got Dalvin, sure, I'll take Madison round 10. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Every situation is different. And Dalvin Cook's not even the best example. Let me give you better examples here. This is my favorite freaking handcuff, bro, all this year because of one reason, the price. You're telling me in a 12-team league, if I draft Derrick Henry, I got a draft board up, by the way, for you audio listeners. If I draft Derrick Henry at 1.02, where's Hassan Haskins getting drafted this year? Like he's going like undrafted. You're telling me in round 16, I should draft some garbage player and not Hassan Haskins? That's the thing. Oh, Lucas says, why not take Tony Pollard similar 80 because they're not similar ADP. Tony Pollard's going round 8, early round 8. Madison's going early round 11. It's not similar ADP. And yeah, go ahead and draft Tony Pollard. I don't what he's saying is not wrong at all. I'm just saying it's not absolute. We don't use this in every single scenario for every single type of league. That's my gripe with it. What he's saying is not false. I just don't want people to use this in 100% of strategies, 100% of leagues. I mean, is he talking about an 8-team league? Is he talking about a 12-team league? Is he talking about redraft? Is he talking about dynasty? I play in tournaments. I mean, if I'm playing against 200,000 other people, that means tournaments are popular. Like, what? We don't know what that's what I'm saying. And no, yeah, their ADP is totally different. We're talking 2 rounds difference. If I draft Derrick Henry at 1.02 and it's round 16 or even 14, you're telling me I shouldn't take my favorite handcuff, Hassan Haskins, with Dante Foreman out of there? Dante Foreman is in Carolina. I can get Hassan Haskins, who's a better Dante Foreman with no competition right here. Now I'm guaranteed to have the RB1 for the Titans, especially if you're going close to 0 RB, especially if I don't have a lot of other RBs. I don't think that's that much of a waste, especially if you're worried about Derrick Henry. I think that's a good strategy. Now, and trust me, I do agree with this sometimes, especially in redraft. Now, don't go drafting your handcuff every single time. Don't go reaching for your handcuff. Don't do that either. Don't be desperate. You don't have to get your hand. Oh, man, I got to get my handcuff. I got to draft Madison in round 9. Nope. I got to take Madison in round 8 because I'm so scared of Dalvin Cook. No, don't be scared. Don't reach. And don't handcuff every single one of your running backs. Yeah, that is some scaredy cat BS. Don't do that. You are decreasing your upside. But if I draft Derrick Henry 2nd overall and Hassan Haskins fell all the way to round 16, like I said, my best value handcuff, I love him because of his price, because Deontay Foreman's gone, because he is a big handcuff to a running team, to a big running back. We saw Deontay Foreman perform well. I think Hassan Haskins is going to perform even better if Henry misses any games. If Hassan Haskins is sitting there at round 16, I don't have any other handcuffs. You telling me not to draft Hassan Haskins? No, I think you should draft Hassan Haskins. Here we got another one. This is almost RB0, where you go wide receiver, wide receiver. Another example. Team 10 drafted Cooper Kupp 10th overall. Then they drafted Justin Jefferson. I know that's kind of probably not going to happen, but they drafted 2 wide receivers with their first 2 picks. That's what matters. With their 3rd pick, they select Zeke. And you're telling me that Tony Pollard, if somehow he's available at 10.03, I'm not going to take Tony Pollard? At 9.10, I'm not going to take Tony Pollard? Like, I don't think that's that bad of a pick. It's not an amazing pick either. It does crush your upside, but I'm saying this isn't the worst thing. That's all I'm saying. Upper hand fantasy, nothing against this guy. Like I said, he's dope. And he's not the only guy to say this. I've heard this. This is why I'm ranting about this, because I've heard this 100 times this year and last year. I've heard this a lot. Do you know where this is an absolute strategy? Absolute as in you have to do this. By the way, Mike, look at this draft board. Just be honest with me. Do you agree with what I'm saying or disagree?
I generally agree with what you're saying for sure. Yeah, I think handcuffs are important, especially if you have one of the top running backs. That's definitely the place to have make sure you got your handcuff situation figured out. So I'm with you on this.
Yeah, so Tony Pollard, if you're like, man, that's 8.03, that's too early. I get that. Don't get him at 8.03. That's fine with me. Isaiah Spiller, that might be a bad one because he's going so early compared to Hassan Haskins, right? And so if you go with Austin Eckler, right, you get Austin Eckler 3rd overall, okay? And like Isaiah Spiller is not going to fall to round 10. Hey, that makes sense because, hey, I don't want to reach for my handcuff. So maybe even Tony Pollard, hey, if I got to draft him at 8.03, I think that's too early. I get that. There we go. Lucas is on board. He knows right what I was about to say. Now, in a best ball tournament, this is absolutely right. Because the winners of these best ball tournaments, bro, they do this strategy because you need to increase your upside. So I've done best ball tournaments and best ball leagues where I've handcuffed my guys, and it has hurt my upside, and I haven't won in those. So yeah, you want to draft other people's handcuffs in best ball and in tournaments, like because a lot of people, when they do play best ball, it's on Underdog Fantasy, which is like a tournament style, or my favorite, direct competitors, my homies, drafters, where sometimes they don't fill up and we get that edge and win there. But same type of deal. Drafters, Underdog Fantasy. I prefer drafters. They're my boys. I go on there when you're doing a tournament best ball, you do want to follow this, right? The only time you want to break this rule is if handcuff just for some reason once in a blue moon just keeps falling and falling. For this, yes, best ball tournaments, correct. Try not to draft your own handcuffs at all. So, like I was saying, like I really want to make this clear that this advice works sometimes for some situations, some cases, some types of leagues, and doesn't work other times. There's not only one way to skin the cat, and it's case by case. Like I said with Tony Pollard, it's like less clear and cut, that Tony Pollard example, because he's going 8.03, right? You might be like, that's too early. But bro, Hassan Haskins, round 16. Are you kidding me? Handcuff of the year material. I'm taking that, especially if you think Henry's gonna get hurt, like you're worried about that. And kind of done with my rant. And I wanted to say again, Upper Hand Fantasies dope account on Instagram. I'm gonna DM him, tell him I talked trash about him and gave him a shout out. So hopefully he'll prove to me that he's a cool guy. So we have a cool. I brought this other post he made right here. How to make your league more fun. So let's review this, Mike. Let's see. What do you think? This is how to make your league more fun. Add an extra wide receiver spot and an extra flex. I'd say yeah.
I say yeah, I like that.
Spice.
So like 3 wide receivers instead of 2, and
yeah,
then 2 flex instead of 1.
Like if you're in a 10-team league, go for it. Yeah, like let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have a live draft. You already know.
You
already know. Come on. You already know the answer to that. We go crazy. Yeah, we got the podium. We got the. I'm bringing the guns out this year and next year. We're gonna keep stepping it up. Hopefully, that's hard to beat last year's draft party.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard to top with the helmets and the snack helmets. I mean, it's pretty crazy, and the rings.
Move to a keeper league. I get this. That's if your relationship's really dying. That's if like role plays not working, right? Like marriage therapist not working. This is like your last resort. I get it. Me personally, I do redraft or dynasty. I don't do this in between BS. So I don't like keeper league, but for some people, I think this is a good suggestion.
Never had tried it, but one day.
Nah, just. You're doing dynasty now, so dynasty, yeah, dynasty's all. It's like you got a light beer and then you put a little bit of regular beer in it. Like let's just pick which one let's drink a regular beer or just drink the light beer. Let's not. Yeah. Add a super flex spot. Oh, I love it. I love spicy. Super flex. Love it. You play how many super flex leagues you're in?
2.
2? Yeah,
I'm only in 2 dynasty, but they both have super flex.
Oh, both. I'm in 2. Yeah. I think 2 super flex as well. 2 or at least 2. I don't know. I make the rule. I'm the commissioner, so I might switch it up. All right. Decide on a league punishment before your draft.
I've never done this one.
I've never stepped into this territory.
Spicy though. I mean, it can go bad. I feel like you know what I mean. It could ruin the chemistry.
So I got 2 things with this. One, in a public league, like if you guys aren't in the same hometown, you guys aren't best buds, this is not going to work. I already know that. I got enough experience with that because people from different walks of life, you're dealing with people over here, over there, different ages. But if you're best buds and in the same town, this could work. I just think it's hard for us in the couch league because it's such a magnified league. It's, 4 cameras on you. It's just, for someone to go through with it, it's tough, but I think we need to try this somehow, some way, one time.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like something like too embarrassing. It could just be like, I don't know, but it doesn't have to be something like degrading. Like it could just be something fun.
I think it has to be. It has to be at least a little degrading for this.
Like, wasn't there one where like Scout dressed up like a girl, or was that
He
just
did that
for
for a commercial.
a
Put a
commercial?
dress on
That
and a
wasn't
wig.
real. Okay.
But it
Yeah.
did curse him, and he did come in last place the very next year.
And that is very. I mean, he's usually really good, so he did get cursed. Then I feel like to be last, like you have to be. That's a bad year for him.
Yeah,
He's usually near the top.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, to me, I get that, like, this is a great idea, but I don't know if we'll be able to pull it off personally. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the. There comes the truth. The truth comes out. Because I've came in last place once or twice my whole career in fantasy, and it was recently. I don't remember, but it was only once or twice. So it's pretty hard for me to get in last place, but man, you never know. Remove trade vetoes. No one, including the commissioner, should be allowed to veto any trade if there is collusion only. Oh, if there is collusion, only the commissioner can reverse the trade. So this is how
like that.
This is how we have our dynasty league set up.
Yeah.
It's like awesome. That. I don't like this per se in redraft. I don't know. I can't tell you why. But in Dynasty, like I said, Dynasty is more like a marriage. There has to be trust, right? Yeah. And if you don't have that trust, right, don't get married. So don't be in the Dynasty League with these guys. But in a redraft, right, that's just dating. We're dating. So it's like you need at least that 2-day period where people got to look at that trade, because that's just how I feel. I don't know why per se, but I'm just telling you just honestly how we got our leagues. In Dynasty, trades go through immediately. We love it. It's so much fun. We got Sushane in the league now, so trades go up. There's 3 times as many trades, right? Because Sushane's in the league. He loves the trade. So I feel this. Just be careful. Add a prize for most points during the season. This is not for the poor people. So poor couch fam, I know you're listening. I know we got our poor couch fam. It's not for you. But doctors, lawyers, top-notch salesmen, yeah, you guys definitely spice it up, man. Every week you're going for something. Hey, maybe now you're going for those stacks now, huh? Because you got that weekly prize money, baby. If the weekly prize money is really big, then maybe the stack isn't that bad.
Yeah, that's a case where it helps, I would imagine.
Because you have like 2 or 3 boom weeks and be like, yeah, I got the first place prize for this week.
I like that.
There's more. Jeez. Purchase a perpetual league. All right, shut up. Shut up, upper hand. We have a bunch of those. Where's the I got one right here. It's so freaking big. You can't even fit in the shot.
It's sturdy. I like it.
What did you tell Germ?
I forget. What did I say?
You were like, this is the last time you were relevant? 2000. He always hit us up with that. Back-to-back champ. Bro, it's been a decade.
Lots happened, Germ.
Bro, it's been a decade. Yeah, we have weird strategies I have to debunk on a podcast. There wasn't even podcasts back then. This is so long ago. You couldn't even go live on YouTube back then.
I don't think Instagram was.
Instagram wasn't around.
It wasn't around. Like, that's how far back.
Let alone TikTok / Musically. Yeah, that wasn't around. Yeah. No Instagram. And that's it. Oh, wait, one more. Want to really shake things up? Consider an auction league. Well, we do that every year. We have a couch auction league. I think it's awesome, but for me personally, my ADD can't do that long of a draft, so I only do one per year. But I have much respect for it. It's an awesome way to draft and get your players. You're not just reliant on the snake draft. Like, oh, I hope my guy falls to me after 22 picks. Like, you bid on the players you want.
Hazelnut had a comment, and he doesn't know that I actually came up with this.
Read it, Mike.
1 year. Beer pong, he meant to say, for draft order. Write numbers on the bottom of solo cups and put them in a big triangle. 12 team, 12 cups. Or you can put out like 32 cups and drink till they hit a cup with them. I came up with this on video. that like a few years back, like no one was doing this on camera at least, or even that I'm aware of. But yeah, we put that on our draft video starting like 5 years ago, 4 years ago. So we originated that. Thank you though.
Yeah, have you seen our draft parties, bro? Come on, like you haven't seen this, Hazel?
Apparently
He,
not, because
he's
he should
got
know.
like he's been couch fam for I don't for years. I've seen Hazel for a while. You really haven't seen this?
He couldn't have. There's no way. He would know.
All right, Hazel, answer my question. Have you seen our draft party videos? Go find this video if you haven't. You got to answer though, bro. This draft party's so sick.
He's like, I wonder where I saw that from.
He's like, I saw it in some video.
It was hella cool. It was so innovative. He's
We got it
like,
right
oh, that was you. Yeah, there you go. Innovative once again.
Oh yes, with the poet. Now this guy Hazel's a real couch fan. Yeah, he's seen it. And then our competitor
Genius.
Nick BDG does it too. Who did it first though?
It had to be us. There's no way
I
that was
don't know.
before us.
Maybe
I
we've been
mean,
doing it for years.
I've never saw it before.
Oh well, we have been filming our draft party first. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So BDGE,
I
it's all
put money
good.
on it.
It's
I
all
mean,
good.
we're
We know.
always early. Like, we're known for being
Yeah,
early. Like, there's no way someone beat us to that idea.
we had a fantasy couch MySpace page. Yeah,
Yeah.
just let that sink in.
That's it.
What's up, Ty? We're about done with the podcast. Unless you guys have any questions, we're about to wrap it up right here. Unless Mike has something to say, unless you guys have any questions, get it in really quick because we're about to end it. Ty, bro, you got to replay this or listen to the audio because this is a really good podcast, I think. What do you think of the new thing, the little rant, Mike?
I like it. I think you should do more insightful, commentaries about fantasy.
Yeah, because it's things that just keep going this way, and I'm like, come on, guys, like, what do you, how can I convince the world this isn't the thing? Like sometimes you just got to use common sense. Like, come on, this isn't the thing. What day are you drafting this year? Oh, Crouch draft party? I don't know. You think I know? I don't know. August. That's all I know. We got the throne draft going right now, baby. Throne draft. Let me know if you guys want in on the Discord. Let's check in on the throne draft before we end it. Mike, anything to say? Thoughts?
Tune in next week. I mean, if you guys haven't joined the Throne League, at least participated, I think you guys should hop on Instagram now, Discord. It's cracking. I finally see what everyone's talking about, and I'm just glad that I'm involved this season. I think we're gonna win it all. I'm just gonna put it out
Wait,
there.
you like
We're
how
off to a
we
great
get
start.
you like how we get down, huh? Like that's like it's
Yeah.
we had a voice call too. You couldn't hop on, but we were talking a lot of strategy, like who's gonna fall to us at 3.10. So this is what's going on in the Throne League so far. Again, we draft all these guys as a team. We have a virtual war room. We have scouts. We have a draft board, bro. It's like a real front office. It's like a real NFL war room, like as close as possible. We have voice calls. We have votes. Like it's crazy. We got debates. Sometimes every year we have like a traditional essay almost. It's like a unofficial tradition. Like one person goes all out and writes an essay to vouch for like the player to sway the vote. Sometimes it works. Sometimes the essay goes the way.
I think having 10th pick was really good this year for
I
us.
like 10.
I think it was optimal for this how the draft board shook out.
The middle spots are kind of hard, even though these middle spot teams did well. I find the middle a little bit tough.
I think we killed it. Like Mixon and Diggs. I think that's the best. I mean,
It's
I'm
great.
biased, of
It's
course.
a great start.
But it's a great start compared to the other teams.
Well,
From what I see.
I got a lot of faith in the community. Like I said, I feel like I'm a really good fantasy player, but when the community comes together and like we all work as a team, like it's better than me, right? It's better than just one individual. Like, cause we think of a lot of different things. Like we know a lot of different things. Like people in the community, they're like beat writers on their own, right? Like there's someone in my community that knows more about the Ravens O line than I do, right? Like they know so much. They know like the ninth best O lineman on the Ravens, right? Like it's like a little extra thing, or they know this or they know that, or like it's just a lot of cool things. So this is how the throne draft went. We had the 10th overall pick. It went Jonathan Taylor, CMC, Eckler a little early, Najee Harris, and then we went Justin Jefferson 5th overall. Little shock, little
Wow.
surprise.
Is
Cooper
that
Kupp. Well, usually Kupp goes before Justin Jefferson.
okay?
Cooper Kupp, 6 overall. Derrick Henry fell to 7. So people are really scared of the tread on the tires and the usage and the age. People are really scared of that. And then Dalvin Cook at 8. And now we're loving this draft so far right now because you already know we want to mix it. And then Jamar Chase at 9. So I had to make that Joe Mixon hype video. Let's go, baby. DeAndre Swift, 11. Devontae Adams, 12. Then at 2.01, it went Kelsey. Now, this team's going to really eat it right here because they didn't draft a running back. They think a running back's going to fall to them if they're even thinking that far ahead. They think a running back's going to fall to them. But in leagues like this, they may not like the running backs left over.
Who do you think they'll end up with? Like, what kind of backs do you think they're going to end up with?
Some spies are watching this video, so I don't want to get too much into it. But let's just say it's going to smell like poop. Yeah, whatever it is, it's going to be a moldy, expired smell. They're not going to like it because in a league like this, as you can see, bro, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs went out of the last 7 picks. So they're going right now. Like it's not like they're starting to go right now. So yeah, 2.01 went Kelsey, then Kamara, then we got Diggs. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Chubb, then CeeDee Lamb, great pick. Saquon Barkley, Aaron Jones, Javonte Williams, and now Fantasy Football Trainer is on the clock there.
I'm scared of the team with the Cup Jones start. That was the one that is kind of scary.
Yeah, that's a great start. I mean, you know how high I'm on Aaron Jones, and it's like, man, they fell to him at 2.07. That's a nasty combo, but kind of similar to us. Joe Mixon.
Yeah, similar.
Bro, Joe. So Samaje Perine is a little older. How old is he? Samaje. Let me see if I can pull up his exact age really quick.
The Swift and Kamara one, that one.
Samaje Perine is 26.7. Oh, he's not that old. But they're saying they might be trying to kind of phase him out with Chris Evans. So
his
I guess
beard makes him look older.
Yeah. He does look older, bro, than 26. But so that doesn't matter. So forget I said that. But this is what does matter. Joe Mixon's O-line is 3.5 times better than last year.
Wow.
They went from having a bad O-line to, dare I say, a good O-line. Let's just say even above average. That's still a huge improvement.
Did they sign people? Like, how did they improve it so much?
Oh, yeah. They got it was in that video you watched, that 32 that 32 team updates. Okay. So they got Lael Collins.
Oh,
they signed him. Okay. They got two other offensive linemen, free agency or trade, like off season, and then they drafted another O lineman.
Ooh,
so
wow.
Yeah, and that wasn't a high draft pick, but still, like they really went after it. So their O line is 3.5 times better.
Solid.
Yeah, so that's the Throne League. Man, it's a lot of fun. So let me know if you want in on the Discord. 3 O-line free agency. Yeah, I don't know if it was trade or free agents, but they got 3 O-linemen there, and then they drafted 1. Here's what I'm drafting live 14 team on August 28th and online September 1st redraft. Okay. I have number 2 in my 12-team redraft with Jefferson as my keeper. That is a great keeper. Superflex going either Allen or Taylor, whoever falls. QBs go early in this league. Who would you go, Mike? JT or Josh Allen in Superflex?
Oh, that's tough. I think Josh Allen.
That is a I think I would answer Josh Allen just because I don't love JT as much. even though he's my number one.
Yeah, I
Man,
would say it's tough. I don't know. I get
however
slight
you
edge to
chop
Josh
it
Allen.
up, you're gonna lose on one of those positions. So
Yeah.
if you go JT, you're gonna have to attack quarterback with quantity because all the quality's gone. Like Mahomes is gone, Herbert's gone, Lamar's gone, Burrow, like all those top 5, top 10 guys are gone by the time it's your turn. If you don't, if you go if you go Josh Allen, that's going to be tough with the running backs, but at least you can like find some running backs. Miles Sanders, you can get as your RB2 still, and
Ooh.
typically is your RB3, but could be RB2. Yep. Hey, Sushane, you got to rewatch this podcast, man. It was sick. We did a little rant and everything, but we're going to end it there. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.